My wife couldn't have children, but the day she died, she gave birth. The baby in my arms right now shouldn't exist. The coroner told me Claire's body showed zero evidence of pregnancy. No stretched uterus. No hormone changes. Nothing. Yet I found this infant between her legs 3 days ago, while my wife bled out in our bed. Dr. Reeves called me 4 times before admitting he had no idea what he was looking at. Every test said impossible. The baby's DNA test came back yesterday. She's mine. But here's what kept me up last night. Claire had been infertile for 6 years. 4 specialists confirmed it. We'd spent everything trying to have a child. Then 8 months ago, she got sick, and I watched my wife's body destroy itself. Her hair fell out in chunks. Her teeth loosened and dropped. She lost 60 pounds in 3 months. And the whole time, this baby was supposedly growing inside her, except according to science, she wasn't. I named her Lily because that's what Claire wanted if we ever had a daughter. That conversation happened 7 years ago after our 3rd failed IVF attempt. Now Lily's 6 months old and I'm terrified. Not because she's difficult. The opposite. She never cries unless something's actually wrong. She sleeps through every night. She started smiling at exactly 6 weeks like the baby book said. She's perfect. Too perfect. My mother-in-law Sophie came to help those first weeks and commented on how easy Lily was. Sophie said Claire had been a colicky nightmare for the first year, but Lily just watches me with these calm, knowing eyes that sometimes make my skin crawl. The thing that made me start keeping notes was the birthmark. Claire had this distinctive birthmark on her left shoulder blade, shaped like a crescent moon. Our dermatologist offered to remove it, but Claire refused. 3 months ago, while giving Lily a bath, I noticed a pale mark forming on her left shoulder blade. Same location, same crescent shape. I told myself grief was making me paranoid. Then Lily started reaching for things Claire used to love. Claire collected vintage teacups on a high shelf in our living room. Her favorite was this delicate blue and white porcelain one from her grandmother. When Lily was 4 months old, barely able to hold her head up, she'd crane her neck to stare at that shelf. One day I was holding her near the bookcase, and she lurched forward, reaching specifically for that blue cup. Not the red one next to it, not the yellow one. The blue one Claire used every morning for 8 years. I moved the cups to a closet that night. My best friend Marcus came over last week. He'd been Claire's friend first, known her since college. While he was there, Lily started fussing, which was unusual. Marcus tried to calm her down and she screamed, not baby crying, but full-throated screaming like she was terrified. She'd never done that with anyone. Marcus looked hurt and handed her back. She stopped immediately and stared at him with this cold expression that didn't belong on a baby's face. After Marcus left, I remembered something. Marcus had proposed to Claire in college. She'd turned him down. They stayed friends, but it had been awkward for years. Why would a 6-month-old react to him like that? The pediatrician says Lily's development is advanced. She started grasping objects earlier than expected. Her eye contact is unusually sustained. Dr. Walsh commented that Lily seemed to study people's faces like she was trying to figure them out. Most babies just look around randomly. Lily tracks people with intent. She watches me constantly, following my movements around the room. Sometimes I catch her staring with an expression I can't read. Not blank baby staring. Something else. Recognition maybe. Last month I started going through Claire's medical records, trying to understand what killed her. The deterioration had been so rapid, but here's what I found that made my hands shake. 8 months before Claire got sick, she'd gone to a new doctor, a specialist her friend recommended, Dr. Yuki Ashford. I'd never heard that name. Claire never mentioned seeing anyone new. I called every medical practice in the state. No Dr. Yuki Ashford exists. I checked Claire's bank statements from that period. 3 payments of $500 to something called Ashford Wellness Center. I searched that name. Nothing. Not online, not in any medical databases, just those 3 payments, and then Claire got sick. Her decline started exactly 2 weeks after the last payment. Sophie came over yesterday with some of Claire's childhood things, old baby clothes, a christening gown, toys. She was sorting through a box when she froze, pulled out this worn stuffed rabbit. She said Claire had been obsessed with this rabbit as a toddler, carried it everywhere, had complete meltdowns if they couldn't find it. Sophie tucked it in Lily's crib as a keepsake. That night I heard sounds from the nursery on the baby monitor. Not crying, cooing and gurgling, happy sounds. I pulled up the video feed. Lily was awake, holding that rabbit, pressing its worn ear against her cheek exactly how a child would comfort themselves with a beloved toy. She was 6 months old. Babies that age don't have the motor control for that kind of deliberate action. They grab and mouth things randomly. This was intentional, practiced, like she'd done it thousands of times before. I went into her room and she looked at me without surprise, still clutching that rabbit. I tried to take it away and she gripped it tighter, her fingers surprisingly strong. When I finally got it loose, she didn't cry. She just stared at me with what I can only describe as disappointment, the same look Claire used to give me when I did something that let her down. That's when the real nightmare began. Full story is linked below or on my channel.